What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, the pound for pound king is a wanted man. The 5-division world champion, 3-division undisputed world champion, superstar boxer, who is the first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires, with a record of 42 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout, after his biggest, greatest fight and performance that took place a few Saturdays ago, where he dominated, moving up essentially 3 weight classes, technically 2, to beat another first ballot Hall of Famer that everybody assumed he was going to get knocked out, and just rid him off and stated that he was cashing out to get a big payday, and he knew he couldn't win the fight against Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight, who was the reigning undisputed super middleweight at the time, that made Terence Bud Crawford a 5-division champion and 3-division undisputed champion. With that said, he dominated that fight, and the odds was he was going to get knocked out. He moved up in weight. He was biting off more than he can chew. He was a little guy, and Canelo was going to knock him out. Canelo was younger, 35 years old. He's bigger, he's stronger, and Canelo was going to knock him out. And the polar opposite took place. Terence Crawford dominated the fight. With that said, Terence Crawford hints at a possible move back down to 160. Okay? He moved up to 168. He had one fight at 154. Now he's hinting at a move down to 160, and his well-renowned trainer, who will be 3-time trainer of the year this year, future Hall of Fame trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, and Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6th-division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160. That Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns. That's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO champion, and he's daring Terence Crawford to come down and fight him, right? And now Janibek is saying, I'm the unified champion. You want to be undisputed and a 6th-division champion. I'm welcoming the challenge. Now, I told you guys his former trainer and well-renowned trainer and former world champion, Buddy McGirt, he stated he don't think Janibek is ready, right? So Janibek is daring him. And now Janibek is saying, he's trying to entice Terence Crawford to come down and take the fight. And now he's looking to challenge the WBC middleweight champion, Carlos Adames, who is 24 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 18 wins by way of knockout at 31 years of age. He's looking to challenge that WBC middleweight champion and beat Carlos Adames because he heard that there's reports that Terence Crawford could possibly fight Carlos Adames. So he's now looking to fight Carlos Adames, unify the belts, be the 3-belt middleweight champion, right? That gives Terence Crawford time to rest, enjoy his family, and start cutting the weight to move down to 160. And he's saying, listen, I'll have 3 belts. And that entices Terence Crawford, right? Because Either way, he could have 2 fights at 160 and be a 6 division champion and a 4 division undisputed champion. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous in this time, in this era. In yesteryear, when it was 1 belt, made sense. When Henry Armstrong was doing it, it was 1 and 2 belts. It wasn't 4 belts that you had to collect from 4 different champions and the lineal Ring Magazine belt. It was 1 belt, 2 belts, right? Where these guys was doing the Sugar Ray Robinson, Henry Armstrong, right? Holding belts in multiple weight classes. But there wasn't 4 belts. That you had to have 4 fights, essentially, in these divisions because of the politics. So, therefore, for Terence Crawford to be a 6 division champion and a 4 division undisputed champion, that just cements him, no doubt, as top 3, top 5 greatest fighters in history. There's no debating that. None. You can debate it now. He's a 5 division champion, 3 division undisputed champion. He beat Canelo. He did what he did at 147. You can try to debate it. But he does this, that's undebatable. And Erislandy Lara is the WBA middleweight champion who's aging at over 40. He needs the payday. He needs the opportunity. So if I'm Terence Crawford, I'm looking closely at this. And I believe he can beat, I believe that he can beat Carlos Adames. If Carlos Adames beat Janibek, I believe Janibek is the best of the bunch. I believe Terence Crawford beats Janibek. And he beats Erislandy Lara. I think the toughest fight, oddly enough, would be Erislandy Lara because of his style, southpaw stance, long arms, 75-inch arms, Cuban school of boxing, multi-division champion. That would be his toughest fight because of the style matchup. And even then, he figures Lara out very quickly. But let me know what y'all think, man. Janibek trying to entice him, calling him out, and daring him to come to 160 after he beat Carlos Adames, saying that he's got a big announcement for a big fight and it's believed that it's going to be Carlos Adames. Let me know what y'all think, man. Should Terence Crawford take the bait? Drop a comment in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.